If you are wanting to completely scratch the board and create your life by design through using the power of your mind, you need to take these 3 steps in this order. This is exactly what I take my students through in order for them to completely recreate the results that they see in their lives. It's powerful, it works, so make sure you stay until the end of the video to get everything you need to hear. What's up, what's going on? My name is Sabrina and welcome to or welcome back to the channel. Here in the Better You space, we teach creatives, dreamers, and entrepreneurs how to train their minds to make their daydreams their real daily lives. If you're interested in a full transformation, feel free to check out our signature program, Unleash Your Life, or one-on-one mentorship in the description below, and let's get into it. The first step in order to create the life of your dreams, create your life by design using the power of your mind, is to educate yourself on the science behind this stuff. We have been taught and raised to believe that in order to create the results we want to see, we have to work really hard and bust our ass or just be born with really lucky circumstances. So very few of us were actually taught the science behind reality creation, why it is we see the results and the reality that is directly in front of us right now. It has nothing to do with how hard you work or what family you were born into or how much money your parents made. It all is a direct reflection of your state of consciousness, which is basically the scientific term for your mind, the different properties of your mind. And so getting yourself really familiar with this, like it's really easy for our perceptions and limiting beliefs from how we were raised to kind of like create disbelief in the power of this work. And it can make it take so much longer for us to do. But when you have the science in front of you to show you, okay, quantum physics, which is the study behind matter and energy, when it shows us how these atoms literally collapse into physical form based off of what your state of consciousness is in, meaning our state of consciousness creates our physical reality in front of us, right? It's the filter to which we see our physical reality. When we see the evidence of this, when we see the more research that's being done on the human energetic field, which is HEF, and how we all have this magnetic field around us and how we're literally human magnets dependent on our energetic vibration. When we see the science behind how our belief systems work as a confirmation bias and whatever we believe to be true, our brains will make us see. When we see the science behind all of this, it's like a no-brainer. It's like, duh, I'm going to focus on my mindset. Duh, I'm going to focus on my state of consciousness. I know after seeing all of this research that I need to be focusing on this. And if I don't focus on this, I'm not going to see the results I want. I'm not going to create the life I want. I'm going to keep struggling and keep whining and keep complaining and asking myself, why isn't it working out for me? And so really, I want you guys to first and foremost really immerse your mind in these teachings of how we consciously create our reality. Find your favorite creators that talk about this. If I'm one of them, great. I absolutely love you for that. If you have other favorite creators, like listen to a lot of Dr. Joe Dispenza, Neville Goddard. There's so many different doctors that have done research and studies on this. And of course, they don't teach us this in school, which they should. But at least more and more people are talking about it now. And there's more and more people who have access to these teachings. Start studying quantum physics, which it might sound like boring when I say quantum physics, but look up on Amazon and see which books have good reviews and read books that are easier reads on this. Look at people who have gotten massive results from this. It's like, once you see the evidence, so much evidence of it in front of you, it's like you can't keep resisting the work. You can't keep falling off of doing this work and being like, oh, well, I didn't see a result in 2 weeks, so it doesn't work. When you have seen enough research and evidence and studies that this does in fact work and it's 100% fact and that this is actual science, you have to stay consistent with it because you're like, this is the one thing that I need. It allows you to keep going, to be able to see through the results, because so many people start this work and then they start to feel better and then something happens, they might feel triggered and they fall off, which is why I made the video Persistence is Key. I'll link it up above. And after you've gotten that understanding, it's like a no-brainer. So educating yourself, immersing yourself in this content, immersing yourself in the research, in the studies, watching videos like this, you're doing great. You are gaining the knowledge that you need to realize how powerful this work is. The second step I take my students through in our signature program, Unleash Your Life, is a clearing process. And let me explain why this is so freaking important. And this is something that so many people miss out on. So passionate about this. It's going to make the process so much smoother for you, so much easier for you if you do the clearing work. What is clearing work? To explain this, I want to give a little analogy, and I want you to think of your mind as a house. Say that your old state of consciousness is like this broken down house, and you have all this stained furniture, tons of different mismatching furniture in there. And then you try to shift your new state of consciousness, and you try to shove in new thoughts, shove in new emotions and perceptions, and it's like trying to shove in all this luxury furniture into a broken down house. What we do in the clearing space is we clear out the properties of your mind that are pulling your state of consciousness to a lower energetic vibration. We also do that. We also do a external clearing. So there's also a lot of things in our physical reality that pull our state down. So we do a full cleansing, right? Physical and internal. So this is things like forgiveness practices, inner healing methods, inner child healing methods, energy clearings, Reiki healings, whatever you want to do that resonates with you. If you try to skip over this step and you're like, I don't need that healing-ish, I'm a bad bee, I'm already good, I don't have any trauma, okay, said no one ever, or I'm a man and I don't need this. Every single person, no matter how much clearing work you do, there's really always more clearing work to do out. I've been doing the inner healing clearing work for the past 6 years, and there's still always more to come out. You just keep getting better and better and better and better and higher and higher and higher. And what you do when you do these inner healing methods is you release these negative emotional charges that have been creating these pretty much like knots in your mind and your brain that keep holding down your state of consciousness. When you hold on to a bad memory that was really triggering for you, your emotional body and your nervous system haven't fully processed it. That energy of that memory is stuck stagnant inside of your body. It's stuck stagnant inside of your energy field. It's stuck stagnant in your state of consciousness, even if you don't think about it. Things that happened when you were 5 years old, 2 years old, in your mother's womb, honestly, even. It's crazy, but that's why we need to really prioritize the clearing work. It clears out so much of the heavy-ish to where we literally, oh my God, after the clearing work, you literally feel so much lighter. One of my clients, I realized she had some stuff coming up for her, so I decided to take her through a energetic clearing meditation, and we used like an NLP technique, which is like a brain training technique. And after the healing meditation, she literally got out, opened her eyes, and she said, "Oh my God, I feel like I'm looking at life clearer. I feel like everything's brighter. I feel like I'm even hearing better." Like, this is how much we raise when we do the clearing work. Even if you don't think you have things to come up, it's like necessary to just clear some gunk out so we have so much more space. And that's a step that I see a lot of people skip and miss out on. And then they still have all of these limiting beliefs and worries and doubts and fears. And they're basically fighting for their dream life against so much of their past gunk, I'm just going to call it. And they just keep fighting themselves, and they feel so much resistance towards creating this dream life of theirs. And it's really not fun. So look up the inner healing meditations. Okay. Look up the forgiveness practices. Look up, I actually have a Ho'oponopono. It's like this ancient Hawaiian forgiveness practice on my channel from had to have been 2 years ago when I first started my channel. So you can check that out if you want to. It is really powerful, but do this stuff. Don't skip out on it. The third step to creating your dream life by design through training your mind is to then get really clear on, okay, what's your vision? What do you see for yourself? When you tap into like your innermost, without thinking of what anyone has told you should be living life, without thinking of how you think you should be living your life, just really tapping into like, how do I genuinely would really love in the most ideal state where I had no problems, I had all the time, all the money, how would my life ideally be? And get really clear on that version of yourself, no holding back and allowing yourself to think really, really big. And then aligning your state of consciousness with that. The version of myself who's living this life, what are their beliefs, their thoughts, emotions, assumptions, perceptions? What are the properties of their mind that are going to, when you build because our mind is like the projector and our external reality is like the projecting screen. When we create and build the projector in our mind that is going to project the screen, right? We create the projector through the different properties of the mind, emotions, thoughts, beliefs, etc. We then can put our awareness on the external reality that we want to create. So then we focus on shifting the state of consciousness, training the mind. I have videos on how to train the mind, so please watch those if you haven't yet. Then we get into the action. Then we get into the planning. Then we get into, okay, what are the habits that you have? Let's take this after we've created the projector. Let's put it out into the 3D world that we're living in. Let's create it. Let's put it all together. And doing it in this way creates results so quickly, especially with the clearing the gunk out, because now you don't have that ball of resistance. Now you don't have that ball of disbelief. Now you don't have those pangs of unworthiness where you keep trying to create the business, but then the back of your mind is like, you're not worthy to run a successful business. You're not worthy to make this much money. You're not dealing with that anymore because we cleared it out. It doesn't bother you anymore. You can now just focus on embodying this new you, embodying this new state, unbothered, unfuckwithable, I like to say. And through doing this process, you can just keep up-leveling your life. That's why I give my students lifetime access to my programs, because you can just keep running it back and running it back and running it back and up-leveling your life in so many different areas, up-leveling your business, your career. Even if all you want to do for a living is to run a farm in Bali and you want that to be how you make your living, sweet, we can shift your state of consciousness to project that into your reality. And we're humans, right? Like, we are made up of the same properties as the universe, and the universe is forever expanding. Therefore, we as people are also forever expanding. Your desires, what you want for yourself, your bigger vision, it's always going to keep getting bigger. You're never going to have one set of circumstances and be very happy and content for it with the rest of your life. You're always going to want more growth. And that's our natural state of being. We're just natural creators like that. And so that's where it becomes really helpful to be able to, okay, see the process again. Go back to, okay, remind myself of the education. Oh, I'm learning even more now because I now already know the baseline, and I'm coming back to the information and I'm learning even more. I'm being reminded of stuff that I have forgotten in the past, and I'm doing more clearing work. More stuff is coming up. More stuff even that wasn't my stuff, that was generational, is coming up. Okay, doing the process again. It's like such a beautiful, simple, streamlined process that works so well when you put it into the place. So immerse yourself in the teachings, do the clearing work, align your state of consciousness, and then take the action, and you will see the results to create your life by design. And if you feel called to go all in on this and become a student of the program, feel free to check out the details of Unleash Your Life with the link in the description below. If you made it to this point of the video, please leave a fire emoji in the comment section below so I know who made it to this point. Give this video a thumbs up to help out the channel. Subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified every time I post a new one. Feel free to share this video with a friend, and I will see you in the next one.